New Jersey's Governor Christie recently campaigned for Mitt Romney in Iowa and New Hampshire. He's with us this morning exclusively. Governor, it's nice to see you again. Good morning.
Good to be back, Matt.
You are a full disclosure guy. You like it when politicians get out there and reveal their financial situations and their tax returns. Is Mitt Romney missing the boat on this?
Well, I don't think he's going to. I think he will.
Why wait?
Release his tax returns. Well, listen, I think the most relevant information is the most recent information. He's going to release when he files in April, and I think, listen, that's going to be personally up to him. My practice has been all along, Matt, that I release my tax returns every year as soon as they're filed, and that would be my practice.
The appearance here is you wait till April, the nomination would be secured by that time, and you don't have to worry about fallout in the primaries.
Well, listen, I think he already started to speak about it yesterday, about the rate he pays, and what I would say to Governor Romney is, if you have tax returns to put out, you should put them out. You put them out sooner rather than later, because it's always better, in my view, to have complete disclosure, and especially when you're the front runner.
For the last 5 years, he's been running around the country talking about his Trump card, which he says is his business resume, his ability to turn around companies, to handle the economy. As you now know, his opponents are using what he sees as his Trump card and trying to make it his Achilles heel, attacking his days at Bain Capital. Is it a fair line of attack?
No, they're completely missing the boat. At the end of the day, what Governor Romney did when he was the head of Bain Capital was help to create jobs and turn around businesses. And, it's stunning to me that somebody like Newt Gingrich would come out with the kind of attacks that he did. Somebody who says that he's in favor of American capitalism would come out with the attacks that he's come out with.
But to kind of separate Mitt Romney and say he's part of the 1%, he's a Wall Street guy, he's a financial tycoon, you think is misleading and unfair?
From the guy who had a $500,000 credit line at Tiffany's? Yeah, I kind of think that's a bit of a problem.
Okay, let's go back to 2009. You ran for governor against then-Governor John Corzine. Right. And you ran with a bunch of ads that labeled him as a Gordon Gekko type guy during his days at Goldman Sachs. Aren't they taking a page out of your playbook?
Well, no, because what I said about John Corzine was how he spent his own money to buy political office with his Wall Street money. I think that's a much different situation than the attack you're talking about now. Mitt Romney, which is essentially attacking the core of the way we tried to build companies and turn around companies in a capitalist system. If the other Republican candidates are so desperate at this point that they have no other message other than to attack somebody who created over 100,000 jobs in his career, then it tells you that their campaigns are pretty bankrupt.
Let's go to your state address, You borrowed a phrase from Mitt Romney in a speech he gave last week. You said, quote, "The politics of envy have overtaken the imperative of opportunity." Talk to me about that word envy, because I asked Governor Romney about this last week as well. Why'd you choose that word?
Well, I chose that word because I think I'd been using another word for a long time, which is the politics of division. And yesterday I used the politics of envy. The reason I did is because what we're setting up here in this country, Matt, is people don't want to feel badly about other people who are successful. They want that same success themselves. And we need to set up a system like we're doing in New Jersey by cutting taxes and setting up a system where people can be just as successful as people who already are.
Then why is it envy as opposed to unfairness?
Well, this is what the president is setting up. What he's trying to say is the American pie is finite. If you don't like the size of the piece you have, only government can take more pie away from somebody else and give you a little bit, and government keeps the rest.
So if people raise questions about Wall Street and financial institutions and their practices and the division of power and money in this country, you do not think it's about envy. You think it's about fairness?
No, listen, if they raise questions about practices under the law, which I spent a lot of time over the 7 years I was U.S. attorney enforcing and going after people in corporate America who are not acting within the law, that's absolutely fair. But that's not what you're talking about with Mitt Romney. The attack on Mitt Romney is that somehow his conduct of capitalism at Bain is somehow wrong and was destructive when, in fact, we know the facts show that he actually created jobs at Bain Capital.
Also, in your State of the State address in New Jersey yesterday, you said, "Together we have done something that Trenton hasn't seen in a very long time. We worked together, we achieved compromise." So talking about compromise and achieving it are two different things. We are right now in a climate where Congress is as politically divided as it ever has been, and yet Americans seem to want these people to get their act together. So what you accomplish in New Jersey, how can it be accomplished nationally?
Only through presidential leadership. I mean, in the end, what I've done as Governor, Matt, is to bring the Democrats into the room and say, we're not leaving here until we come to a solution. And there's a boulevard, Matt, between getting everything you want and compromising your principles. No one should ever compromise their principles, but everyone, especially in divided government, should recognize you're never going to get anything you want.
You don't think President Obama has tried to compromise?
Listen, I don't think the president has shown the type of leadership. Let's face it, Simpson Bowles, he put it on the shelf, never pushed for it. The stimulus plan, turned it over to Congress to do that. The super committee, never got involved with the super committee to try to make something happen. Listen, that's the tough part of leadership. Giving speeches in the Oval Office is the easy part. Getting in a room with John Boehner and Mitch McConnell and the other Democratic leaders of Congress and saying, we're not leaving here until we come up with a solution, because that's what the people are paying us for. That's the kind of leadership we need, and the president hasn't done it.
I hate to get back into this subject because you're a pretty good dancer, and you danced pretty well over the presidential thing a few months back on the issue of whether you would run as a vice presidential candidate to Mitt Romney. Will you tell me right now it is out of the question, it will not happen?
No. No, I won't. And no matter how much you want me to. Stop, Matt. No, listen, what I've said all along is I want to be governor of New Jersey. And if you're a betting guy, I would bet on me being governor of New Jersey after November 2012. But I think it's rude and wrong to say you wouldn't do something they haven't been asked to do. And I've been asked to do it.
Have you had any discussions with Governor Romney about it?
Zero. Listen, my job with Mitt Romney is to go out there and try to help him as much as I can to be elected president of the United States. I don't want anything in return for that except a better country. And so I haven't had any discussions with him about it.
And if you could be a part of achieving that better country as a running mate for Mitt Romney, you would do it?
I think I could be a better part of doing it by being governor of New Jersey and leading one of the great states in this country to a rejuvenation of America. And that's what we're trying to do in New Jersey. Cut income taxes, reform education, and bring people together. And what we've done in New Jersey more than anything else, Matt, is you've seen that the divided government can work. Republicans and Democrats can work together if there's strong executive leadership.
Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey. It's always good to see you here.
See you, Matt.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.